Hello, and welcome back to Dr. English. I'm your host, Jack. Today we are talking about a car company that it has completely changed the vibe of American streets over the last 10 years. We are talking about Tesla. Whether you love them or hate them, you can't drive through a major American city today without seeing those sleek, silent cars with the big T logo. But Tesla is, it's more than just a car company in the U.S. It's a symbol of innovation, a status symbol for the tech-savvy, and a major part of the conversation about climate change. Today, we're going to look at the vocabulary of the EV, the electric vehicle, and why Tesla has such a massive cultural footprint in America. So, let's start with the basics. If you're talking about a Tesla, you aren't talking about a gas car, you're talking about an EV. That stands for electric vehicle. And, because there is no gasoline, the words we use to talk about the car's health are totally different. Instead of asking, how many miles per gallon does it get? People ask about the range. Range refers to how many miles the car can drive on a single full charge. For most Teslas, that's somewhere between 250 and 400 miles. And you don't go to a gas station, you go to a charging station. In the US, Tesla has its own network of these called superchargers. Now, supercharger is a great word. It sounds powerful, right? If you're an English learner, you'll notice that Tesla uses a lot of high-energy vocabulary. They don't just have a fast mode, they have ludicrous mode. Ludicrous is a fantastic English word. Ludicrous. It means something is so fast or so intense that it's almost ridiculous or crazy. If someone tells you a story that makes no sense, you could say, that's ludicrous. But in a Tesla, it just means you're going 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 2 seconds. Now, why is Tesla so significant in American culture? Before Tesla, electric cars were, they were a bit uncool. They were small, slow, and looked like science experiments. But Tesla turned the EV into a status symbol. In the US, a status symbol is an object that shows everyone else that you are wealthy or successful. Especially in places like Silicon Valley or Los Angeles, driving a Tesla says, I am rich, I like technology, and I care about the environment. Inside the car, the design is minimalist. Minimalist means very simple, with no extra clutter. There are almost no buttons. Everything is controlled by a giant touchscreen. Americans love this because it feels like driving a giant iPhone. But this has also created a bit of a stereotype. In American English, a stereotype is a fixed idea about a group of people. There is a stereotype of the Tesla driver as someone who is, maybe a little bit arrogant, or someone who talks about disrupting the industry at dinner parties. When we say a company disrupts an industry, it means they change the traditional way of doing things so much that the old companies have to scramble to keep up. Tesla definitely disrupted the American auto industry. Okay, we have to talk about the most famous and most controversial feature of a Tesla, autopilot. Now, this is a great example of how marketing English and safety English can get confusing. Tesla calls it software autopilot or full self-driving FSD. But, and this is a big but, the cars are not actually self-driving yet. In English, we call this semi-autonomous. The car can steer, it can brake, it can change lanes. But the driver must stay alert with their hands near the wheel. This has led to a lot of debate in the U.S. Some people think the name autopilot is misleading. If something is misleading, it gives you the wrong idea. There have been news stories about people sleeping in their Teslas while the car drives on the highway. In America, we call that negligence. That's a very serious legal word. It means failing to take proper care in doing something. Despite the controversy, the tech side of Tesla is a huge part of its appeal. Appeal means the quality of being attractive or interesting. People love the over-the-air OTA updates. Just like your phone gets a software update at night, your car can get new features while you sleep. Finally, we can't talk about Tesla without talking about its CEO, Elon Musk. In American culture, Musk is a polarizing figure. Polarizing is a word we use for people who make others take opposite sides. Some people see him as a visionary, someone who can see the future and make it happen. Others see him as a chaotic figure who says too much on social media. Because of him, Tesla doesn't spend any money on traditional advertising. You won't see a Tesla commercial during the Super Bowl. Instead, they rely on word of mouth. Word of mouth is when people tell their friends and family how much they like a product. Tesla fans are, well, they are very passionate. Sometimes we call them fanboys, a slightly funny, slightly mean term for someone who is obsessed with a brand. But look at the big picture. Tesla forced every other American car company, Ford, GM, Chrysler, to start making electric cars. We call this a shift in the paradigm. That's a very academic way of saying the whole world changed its way of thinking. So, what's the takeaway for your English? Tesla has introduced a whole new set of words to the American vocabulary. We talk about charging anxiety, the fear that your battery will die. We talk about frunks, the front trunk, where the engine used to be. If you're practicing your conversation, try asking someone, do you think electric cars are the future, or are they just a fad? A fad is something that is popular for a short time and then disappears. I think it's safe to say Tesla is definitely not a fad. I'm Jack. This is Dr. English, and I'll see you next time.